Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber Security Plus podcast. This series helps you prepare for the CompTIA Security Plus exam with focused explanations and practical context. For a companion study guide, check out the Achieve CompTIA Security Plus 701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. It is the most concise and complete Security Plus guide on the market, built for busy professionals who want to pass the exam fast and on their first try. You can find this book and others at cyberauthor.me. Reaching the 100th episode is a great milestone, and it is fitting that we spend it focusing on an area that affects nearly every organization today: securing wireless networks. As more people connect through laptops, tablets, smartphones, and Internet of Things devices, the security of wireless infrastructure becomes not just a convenience, but a critical concern. Wireless networks introduce risks that wired environments do not. Risks that are amplified by ease of access, mobility, and reliance on radio signals. In this episode, we will focus on the devices themselves and on installation best practices that can dramatically improve wireless security. Let's begin with wireless device security. Wireless endpoints include anything that connects to a wireless access point. This means smartphones, laptops, tablets, printers, and even wearable devices. Each of these represents a potential entry point into the network. If an attacker compromises a wireless device, they can potentially pivot into more sensitive areas or eavesdrop on network traffic. Unlike wired devices, which are usually confined to a physical location, wireless devices move around. That mobility increases risk because the device may connect to insecure networks, such as public Wi-Fi at a cafe or hotel, and then return to the trusted corporate network carrying malware or misconfigurations. One of the biggest risks with wireless devices is their default configuration. Devices often come with factory settings that are not optimized for security. These might include open wireless profiles, enabled discovery services, or shared authentication credentials. Best practices require securing the configuration as early as possible. This includes disabling unnecessary features, using strong authentication, and enabling encryption protocols such as Wi-Fi protected access. 3. Administrators should also ensure that all wireless devices are enrolled in a mobile device management system or equivalent platform that enforces policy, monitors compliance, and allows for remote wiping or locking when needed. Regular updates are also crucial. Like any computing platform, wireless devices rely on software and firmware that can contain vulnerabilities. Attackers often target outdated versions of wireless drivers, operating systems, or applications to gain a foothold. Automating updates, or at least prompting users to install them promptly, is a key part of wireless device hardening. Many organizations maintain an approved device list and require regular health checks before allowing devices to connect to the network. These checks ensure that the device has the latest patches, is running approved software, and is not jailbroken or rooted. Another best practice is using certificates or multi-factor authentication to protect device access. Traditional passwords can be guessed or stolen. Certificate-based authentication allows devices to prove their identity using cryptographic keys that are hard to spoof. Multi-factor authentication adds another layer by requiring something the user has, such as a token or app, along with a password or biometric identifier. These measures make it much more difficult for attackers to impersonate authorized devices and gain network access. Wireless device security also involves user awareness. Devices should not be configured to auto-connect to any available network. This behavior creates opportunities for rogue access points or evil twin attacks, where a malicious network mimics a legitimate one. Users should be trained to verify network names and avoid connecting to unknown networks. Organizations can also use security tools to detect and block rogue access points within range of their facility. Now that we've covered endpoint security, let's move to the topic of installation considerations. Setting up wireless access points is not just about plugging in hardware. It requires careful planning to balance performance, coverage, and security. One of the most important installation steps is conducting a site survey. A site survey maps the environment to determine the best physical locations for access points. It accounts for walls, floors, furniture, and other obstacles that can block or weaken wireless signals. The goal of a site survey is to optimize placement while reducing signal leakage. In other words, you want strong signal coverage inside the intended area, but you do not want your wireless signal extending too far beyond it. For example, if your wireless signal reaches into the parking lot, someone outside the building could attempt to connect or launch an attack without ever setting foot indoors. Proper placement of access points combined with signal tuning helps limit this exposure. Some access points allow administrators to adjust power output, further controlling how far the signal travels. Site surveys are especially important in large or complex buildings. In these cases, the wireless network might include dozens or even hundreds of access points. A poorly designed layout could result in dead zones, areas with weak or no signal, or interference from overlapping signals. This not only creates user frustration, but also introduces risk, as users may try to connect to unauthorized networks instead. A thorough site survey helps prevent these problems and ensures that each area has strong, reliable coverage. In addition to the site survey, heat maps provide a visual representation of wireless signal strength across the environment. These maps are generated using special software that measures signal intensity at various points and overlays it on a floor plan. Areas with strong signal are often shown in green, while weak or no signal appears in red or gray. Heat maps are useful for identifying coverage gaps, allowing administrators to fine-tune access point placement. They also help spot areas where the signal is unnecessarily strong, such as outside entrances or through external walls. Reducing signal leakage is an important security goal. When wireless signals extend too far beyond the intended coverage area, attackers can attempt to connect from outside the building. This is known as a war-driving threat, where an attacker drives or walks near a target site, scanning for available networks. Limiting signal range and requiring strong authentication helps reduce this risk. Heat maps let administrators visualize exactly where the signal goes and take corrective action if needed. Another advantage of heat maps is in minimizing the risk of unauthorized access. If a heat map reveals that signals are reaching into unsecured or public areas, administrators can relocate access points, reduce signal strength, or implement directional antennas that focus the signal inward. This fine control over signal propagation adds a layer of physical security to the wireless network. It also helps ensure a better user experience by providing strong coverage exactly where it is needed. Some tools also offer real-time monitoring, so heat maps can change as people move, doors open and close, or equipment is relocated. This dynamic capability is especially useful in high-traffic environments like hospitals, warehouses, or schools. Over time, changes in building layout or occupancy can affect wireless performance, and regular updates to the heat map help maintain secure and reliable access. When preparing for the Security Plus exam, make sure you understand both the technical and strategic aspects of wireless network security. You may encounter questions about secure wireless configurations, default credential risks, or how to interpret a site survey or heat map scenario. Be ready to explain how tools like mobile device management systems, encryption protocols, and heat mapping contribute to securing wireless endpoints and access points. The exam may also test your ability to identify misconfigurations or suggest improvements to wireless security based on a described situation. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cybersecurity Plus podcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com. And before you take the test, make sure to check out the practice questions in the book Achieve CompTIA Security Plus SY0-701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. They cover every domain and are a powerful way to lock in your knowledge.